station of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
A trip to New York did not cure the Indians' ails on the mound, as the Yankees scored 13 runs for just the second time this season. The good news, the Tribe's offense has been doing their job, scoring 5 or more in 8 straight. The better news, Corey Kluber gets the start today, coming off 7 shutout innings in his last start against Oakland. The Indians will try to take a bite out of the Big Apple next on Sports Time Ohio. Warm, cloudy, and muggy here in the Big Apple as the Indians continue this 3-game weekend series against the New York Yankees, looking for a win to try to even things up here this afternoon. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The Indians starting pitching has been abysmal here lately, and they've got to turn it around quickly.
Boy, when you look at the numbers and you're going over the last 5 games, it is really ugly. The bullpen has pitched more innings than the starters have, and they've given up 39 hits in their 17 and the third innings. Look at the extra base hits, opponent's batting average, 448. And I mean, this is going past, a couple of times through the rotation when we look back at 13. These numbers are for the last 5 games, and the bullpen hasn't been much better as well. But when you expose your bullpen early in a ball game, it happens to just about everybody when you've got to cover 5 innings in a ball game every time out.
Well, you're right, too, Rage. If you go back to their last 13 games, the starters have combined for just 2 victories. One of them belongs to Corey Kluber, who was sensational his last time out.
Well, when he pitched against the Yankees, he pitched a gem, and he's been throwing the ball as well as any starter out there. And let's not forget, he's been the only guy that's really pitched a full year in the big league. So they're expecting Kluber to step up today. Hopefully he can give them their 7 or 8 innings that they're looking for, and hopefully the offense will respond like they have been, even though they've been getting beat up early. On the year, Kluber 10-8. You can see his last start against the Yankees, and he'll be matched up against CC Sabathia, who's really on the fly, reinventing himself, with the cutter, the changeup. He's not throwing as hard as he once did, so he'll get a chance to keep this string going for the Yankees.
All right, Indians-Yankees. We'll be back with today's first pitch coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Yankee Stadium, the Indians looking for a strong starting performance today from Corey Kluber. Offensively, they continue to hold their own. They scored 7 runs last night. But the Yankees' onslaught started against Josh Tomlin, and it continued late in the ballgame against the Indians' bullpen. There is Corey Kluber, who will take the mound after the Indians have their turn at bat today against CC Sabathia. For the final word before today's first pitch, let's go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Well, the Cleveland Indians are built on starting pitching, and over the last 2 weeks, the starting pitching has failed this team greatly. But for Terry Francona, as well as last night's starter Josh Tomlin, they feel like they can get through this period of time. Here's today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
It's been one bad turn through, that's for sure. They're all healthy. It's been they've all kind of had back. It's been back to back. It's hopefully Kluber didn't catch what everybody else has.
We're a confident bunch, so we're going to keep going forward and keep making our starts, keep taking the ball, and keep trying to go out there and get outs. But it's just still a tough pill to swallow whenever the offense is clicking like they're clicking, and we're not doing the job we're supposed to be doing.
Just a tough go through, man, for the pitchers, and I'm sure they'll get it straightened out, but hopefully they get it straightened out today. At least get one good start to settle everybody else down.
Let's have a look at the Indians starting lineup today. It's brought to you by Progressive. Rajai Davis in the leadoff spot. Jason Kipnis and then Francisco Lindor. Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, Jose Ramirez. Then it's Brandon Guyer, Abraham Almonte, and Roberto Perez. CC Sabathia, making his 20th start of the year. The 36-year-old delivers a first pitch strike into Rajai Davis. The 0-1 now to Davis is a little low. I think for those of us who are not players, not in the clubhouse actually playing a game or coaching, time sometimes stands still, and it's hard to believe that CC Sabathia is now the longest tenured Yankees pitcher.
Yeah.
And only A-Rod and I guess Brett Gardner have been around in the Bronx longer than CC. It seems like, Rick, just a couple of years ago he was pitching for the Indians, and
I know
that's not the case.
That is incredible. CC 36 years old now. We can remember him when he was a kid, a youngster, a rookie.
Now the 1-2 to Rajai. Up and away, and really missed the mark that time. 2-2. He's no longer that kid who we saw come up and in his major league debut threw nothing but fastballs for about the first 30 some odd pitches.
Yeah, he has to reinvent himself now with the velocity at about 89, 90, 91 sometimes. That cutter, that pitch right there, that's 87 going in. The separation from his pitches are nowhere near they once were. And you know, it's not easy to learn when you go from a power pitcher to have to pitch with a little more finesse. It's not an easy thing to do on the fly.
Now the 2-2. Got him to chase. Was not a strike, but Davis, enticed by the pitch, is down on strikes, 1 away.
Check out our Hyundai starting pitcher, CC Sabathia. You can see 6-8 with a .415 earned run average, and you know, CC 1 win in his last 10 starts, and is 1-4 with a .685.
It's really been a tale of 2 seasons for CC Sabathia. He started out looking like he had turned back the clock big time. As Jason Kipnis looks at a ball outside, in his 7 starts from May 4th to June 16th, he gave up 4 earned runs in 44 innings of work. I mean, it was really the CC of old in terms of productivity. That ball's just beyond the screen. But then, as if somebody flipped the switch, starting with his game on June the 22nd, he's given up 5 or more in 6 of his last 8 starts. Now, whether or not that's just Father Time catching up with him as the season goes along?
There's only so many bullets in that arm, and he's been a workhorse for years and years.
In the dirt, 2-1.
It's not that you know what you're doing, and you have to learn, but when you've done it one way for so long and now you can't make the pitches you once did, you've got to really reprogram your mind. And you have to pitch to the stuff that you have.
Up and in. He told me yesterday the arm feels great, shoulder feels good, elbow feels fine. He said it's the right knee that kills him, and that's his landing leg. He said that's what gives him more problems than anything. The 3-1 upstairs. Kipnis with a 1-out walk.
Well, the Yanks defense behind CC today looks like this. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Gardner, Ellsbury, and Hicks. On the infield, it's Torres, Gregorius, Castro, Teixeira, and Sanchez doing the catching.
Bob Davidson behind the plate. Lance Barrett, Dan Isanya, Dale Scott, the crew chief, on the bases. Here's Francisco Lindor.
You know, we always thought a long time ago with CC, as big as he was, and you know, when you're young you can carry that weight, that excess weight. Sooner or later it's got to catch up to you, and the knees are going to take a pounding. But he lost a lot of weight a couple of years ago, and it seemed like he pitched worse.
Now the weight never seemed to be a major issue for him.
It wasn't.
Not as far as his arm is concerned anyway.
Right.
And look, he's been a productive pitcher for a long time. It's just that at age 36, unless your name's Clemens and you have special doctors, you don't get better.
No, you're right. You get into your 30s and you've been around as long as he has, it catches up to you.
Chop to third. Torres goes to second for one, on to first. It's an inning-ending double play. Yankees coming to bat when we come back. Spitzer Automotive. Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, pair of left-handed bats at the top. Switch hitter Mark Teixeira hitting third. Brian McCann, left-handed slugger in the cleanup spot. Right-handed bat Starlin Castro. Didi Gregorius sat out last night. The shortstop, left-handed hitter, bat sixth. Gary Sanchez is seventh. Switch hitter Aaron Hicks eighth, and Ronald Torres will bat ninth.
Our Honda starting pitcher is Corey Kluber. Corey, you know, other than that one start, his first start in July against Toronto when they needed him to step up big, I'll tell you, he didn't in that start, but every other start since. 8 innings, 7 innings, 7 innings, 7 innings. And that 8 innings came against the Yankees in a win back in Cleveland heading into the All-Star break. So he has been on a roll, and he has been the Indians' best starter, no doubt about it.
Brett Gardner will lead it off. And Corey Kluber's first pitch is high, ball one. Popped him up left field. Brandon Guyer. One down.
And the Indians defense brought to you by Jeep. It'll be Guyer in left field who just made that catch. Davis is in center. Almonte over and right. Ramirez at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis at second. Santana at first today. And Perez doing the catching.
Line drive left field. Guyer had to reach up, but he made a nice play on a ball that carried maybe a little more than he initially thought. 2 down. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Strike one, get ahead. Limit the walks. That hurt him badly last night.
Yep.
I don't know what that means, time of
I
possession.
do. That means get your defense off the field and get them into the dugout and let them hit, because they have spent a lot of time in the last week out playing defense.
Mark Teixeira fouls one back out of play. Mark Teixeira, if you missed it, announced before the game yesterday that this will be his final season in Major League Baseball. 2-strike pitch, line to right, caught, and the inning is over. No score after one in New York.
With MLB.com at Bat app, you can stay connected all season with radio broadcast, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet.
Sun poking out from behind the clouds. Upstairs, ball one to Mike Napoli. Missed again, 2-0. And the 2-0 just missing. 3 balls, no strikes. Napoli last night walked twice, drove in a run, scored 1, and he's now picked up a hit in 7 straight games. Ball. Oh,
That's courtesy.
wow,
3-0.
Yes, so.
The pitch before that looked a little better than that pitch. That one up and away, but it's a 3-0 strike.
Bullseye, full count. 84 degrees, our game time temperature, but very humid this afternoon, which is why a chance for pop-up showers all afternoon long. Full count, popped him up. And Teixeira back into fairground, makes the catch, 1 away. You mentioned it, Rick. CC Sabathia has been a workhorse throughout his career. The numbers bear that out. This is his 16th major league season. He has averaged 30 starts and 200 innings per season.
That's a horse, man. Always has been. And you remember when he was traded to Milwaukee, he was pitching for a long period of time on 3 days rest for that ball club to get them into the playoffs.
That was his career high. He went 35 starts that year for both Cleveland and Milwaukee.
That's what
combined.
old school pitchers used to do with the 4-man rotation. Before they went to the 5, they'd get their 38 to 40 starts, pitch 300 innings.
The 1-0. CC was never selfish. He always put team first. It's what endeared him to his teammates.
Well, that's right. When you talk about good teammates, he's right there at the top of the list.
Carlos Santana with a 1-1 count. Down and in. You got 3 infielders on the left side for Santana. Carlos 1 for 4 last night.
Well, in that start against the Indians back in Cleveland, he went 5 2/3 innings. They got him the second time around is when they settled in and started to get to him. He gave up 7 hits and 5 runs in that start. He walked a couple and only had 2 strikeouts.
That's off the glove into the backstop. Second walk issued by CC, both ironically coming with 1 out. Our great clip of the game for last night, Jose Ramirez continues his hot hitting ways. He went 3 for 5 with a double, a run scored. He's hit in 10 in a row now. He has just really been a model of consistency.
Yeah, and Jose, you know, he's a guy that loves hitting at home. It's about 100 points difference. He's a 351 hitter back home. He's a 254 hitter on the road, but had the 3 hits last night. And he's I love the way he gets the 2 strikes, and he gets down and hits a lot of low pitches for base hits and on very good pitches. Tough man to strike out, as we've been saying all year long. 3rd toughest in the league.
Did not have a good cut there. 0-2. Outside. I think one of the things that makes him a good hitter, from at least my observation, he seems to have a very good, see, you say eye, and that maybe oversimplifies it, real good knowledge of the strike zone. He doesn't chase a lot of bad balls, and he gets to a lot of tough pitches.
He doesn't expand his strike zone a whole lot, and that we called it good eye. But
Yeah.
you know, he has a knowledge of the strike zone. He lays off a lot of tough 2-strike pitches that a lot of hitters will swing at down in the zone. The breaking balls, the changeup like he laid off there. And you know what? He's going to get better. He's going to learn more the more at bats he gets. And don't forget, this kid's just 23 years old.
But CC ends up striking him out. 2 down.
Comes back with a slider here. and gets him. He has the slider, the cutter, the changeup, and his fastball. But that one right there, he might have been looking for it to go away. It was coming into him, and he goes down as CC's second strikeout victim.
Brandon Guyer rolls one to short, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a man left. Middle of the second, no score.
...2016 Rockin' Blast. That'll take place August 13th when the Indians host Albert Pujols and the Angels. And the first 12,500 fans will get a Bob Feller bobblehead. And all fans can enjoy a pregame block party out in the right field district. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Brian McCann, the Yankee DH, leading off here in the second, taking a called strike from Corey Kluber. Taps that one foul. 0-2. You know who's got the toughest job in baseball right now?
I do not.
Tony Franklin. He's the manager of the Yankees Rookie League club in the Appalachian League. They play in Virginia. They've been rained out 5 days in a row. Fly ball to left. Brandon Guyer moving over toward the line. One away. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Yoenis Cespedes with a right quad injury. Boy, I mean, can we talk a little bit more about him playing golf while he's on the DL? Is it just because it's New York it's a huge story?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he played the day he went on the DL before, so what's the big deal?
I mean, people do understand there's a difference between playing golf and sprinting down the line or chasing a ball in the outfield.
Yeah, I don't see many guys chasing their ball down the fairway.
Yeah. Now, if he were doing that, I'd have an issue with it.
Or a glove trying to catch the drives off the tee.
There's Starlin Castro, 2 for 3 last night, and he hit the grand slam. It blew it open.
Well, that was a big run. I mean, a big swing early in the ball game because they had a 1-0 lead at the time, and then that third inning, and that's That's been the MO for the Indians recently, where they fall behind by big numbers early.
This is the only day game in baseball, the only 1 o'clock start.
That's nice.
A few 4 o'clock games coming up later today. The rest of the action tonight. The 1-2. Missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Broke his bat. Long run for Geyer. He won't get there. It'll drop for a hit. And the Yankees have a 1-out base runner.
Well, he had him fooled on the pitch. Castro just throws the barrel out of that bat out. It cracked his bat. And there's no way Geyer could get there, so it's going to fall in front of him. That'll be the first hit of the ball game. A 1-out single. Gregorius, he had a whale of a series back in Cleveland. 6 for 16 and a couple homers. And here's we talk a lot about shortstops and have in the American League this year when we talk about the boy up in Boston, Bogarts and Correa and Lindor. This guy is very, very good in his own right.
Two balls, no strikes. He's a little bit older than that group, but he was highly touted coming up with the Reds, then went to Arizona. He was part of the whole Shin-Soo-Choo three-way swap.
Right. Well, and the toughest part that he's had to live through is replacing Derek Jeter, which is a very difficult thing to do. Guy that has been there 20 years. It's like replacing Brooks Robinson, who was at third base back in the day, and it was Doug DeCences who did that. But not easy to replace a legend in a town.
Two-one pitch. In the air, slicing, and that will find its way to the seats. Well, here in New York, while maybe it hasn't been that common in recent years, but there have been a number of players who've had to replace legends. Think about Mickey Mantle,
right?
DiMaggio. Oh, I mean, there's never going to be another X, fill in a blank here, but somebody's got to go into that spot in the lineup at some point.
Yeah, but I mean, to live through it and be able to sustain it for any length of time is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot to live up to. And in this town, they'll never let you forget it.
No, it's a daunting task, without a doubt. Down goes Gregorius, and Corey Kluber has his first strikeout. 2 down in the second inning.
Let's check out the sequence from Kluber to Gregorius, and we'll make this our Circle K strikeout. Went fastball up and away, and then he missed again. 2-0 slider for a strike. He gets in there, got him with another fastball, and then fastball in. Now you're going to get that little cutter down, and then he swings over the top of it.
Gary Sanchez and a key double last night. It's one of those games where the Yankees got out to the big lead and the Indians chipped away. They got close, but every time they did, the Yankees would just add another run or two on. It just kept enough distance between themselves that eventually, well, there was no more catching up to do.
The amazing thing, even though they put 13 on the board, they had Betances up in the 8th and the 9th, their closer, even though they had the big leads, because the Indians kept coming back and making little runs. That was the interesting thing.
The 1-2. Line drive, base hit, and Sanchez plugs the gap. This could be trouble. Castro in the third. He's going to score, and the Yankees take the lead. A 2-out RBI double by Gary Sanchez. 1-0 New York.
That is his third double, and for Kluber, he missed his location with the fastball. Instead of down and away, that thing leaked up top, and it came back into the sweet spot of the bat for Sanchez, who plugged the gap. So with 2 outs, you're off and running. Castro could score easily, so the Yankees get on the board first and draw first blood.
That'll bring up Aaron Hicks. 1 for 4 with a home run last night. Down on the dirt.
For Corey, early in the game, we usually do talk about fastball command, like we do with a lot of the starters. When they can get that fastball locked in where they get ahead, it's a good deal. But in this inning, Corey's fell behind 2-0 and a couple of hitters.
Base hit right field, coming around third. I'll tell you what, the third base coach almost went out and grabbed him.
If he touched him, he's going to be out. But
he didn't, but he was very very close.
Yeah, it looked like the catcher wanted to run through that stop sign, Sanchez, and he says, "No way. You better hold up." The ball was hit too hard. 2-0 pitch, and it's right there. That's right down Broadway. It was just hit too hard to try and score anybody. I don't care if he could run or not.
Watch Joe Espada, the third base coach.
It comes close. You're right. Oh, he's getting out of the way. He just wanted to pick up the baseball. So it's first and third now with 2 outs. So 3 hits in the inning for the Yankees.
Went too far, says Bob Davidson. Off the end of the bat foul, it's 0-2. Well, again, a common theme for Indians starting pitching lately has been that big inning. So very important, somewhat critical, you could say, for Corey Kluber to try and just keep this to 1 run.
Well, he's ahead in the count. Now he can go to work and expand the zone here and not miss on the plate.
Wow. Oh, man. He missed his target again by a good 3-4 feet. results in another run for New York.
That's a gift run there. I mean, they just wrapped it up for him.
Watch the location. Watch where he wants it. Watch where it ends up again.
Down and away, and he comes up, and that's a good 2 to 3 feet going in off the plate. But Perez still should have caught the ball. He still. It's going to be a wild pitch, but I'll tell you what, that's where you got to help sometimes.
You gotta catch the ball if it's in your mitt, don't you?
Well, it went off the end of his mitt, but that's catchable. Those guys block pitches that are a lot tougher than that.
Lindor will throw him out, but the Yankees score 2 in the second and lead it 2-0. Saturday afternoon, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Two 2-0 New York. Waiting on home plate umpire Bob Davidson. Abraham Almonte will lead off for Cleveland. He likes the high strike today. 0-1. Ball, 1 strike. Down and in. Sabathia, who has had some rough outings over the last 2 months, delivers inside 3-1. Home run balls victimized him here lately. He's given up 2 home runs in each of his last 2 starts. That could be something that jumpstarts the Indians today. They've hit 16 home runs in their last 8 games. The problem is they've given up 15 home runs in their last 8 games, so they're +1 in that category, but it's a tough way to go when you give up that many.
Yeah, the long ball. And CC 1 win in his last 8 starts.
That one win came against the Astros 2 starts ago.
Right.
Chopped to short. Gregorius throws him out. 1 away. Here are 8 pitchers who have won 100 games for 2 different teams in Major League history. CC Sabathia joining Nolan Ryan, Mussina, El Presidente.
Boy, some big names on that list.
Yes, indeed.
Not an easy thing to do. Mussina pitched for the Orioles in here. Martinez, of course, Dennis was here in the National League. Nolan Ryan.
Think about how much harder it is to do now, because you've got to be able to hang around long enough to get a decision.
Yeah, in a game, right.
And with teams, using the bullpen more and more frequently. But it speaks to CC's ability to log a lot of innings. 200 innings a year in his career.
When that's an average of over 15 years, that's very impressive.
His problem early this season, in his first 11 starts, he had 9 decisions. He was 5-4. He didn't have a lot of run support. In those 4 losses, they scored a total of 5 runs of support.
They got off to a horrendous start this year offensively.
The 1-1.
Which is out of your control as a starting pitcher. All you can do is go out and try and keep your team in the ball game.
Bullseye, 2-2. Well, that was a 2-1 fastball that was right down Broadway.
You have to have a game plan against him. It seems like when CC is behind you, he'll throw you the off-speed pitches. When he gets ahead, he is when he tries to throw the fastball. But it's just a combination. You better have a game plan and watch the hitters in front of you to see what he's throwing to certain guys. Because it doesn't matter. All pitchers have patterns that they can fall into.
Now the 3-2. Swung on and missed. That's 3 strikeouts, first time through the order. 2 down here in the 3rd. And Roberto Perez now 2 for 37 at the plate on the year.
Now look at the numbers in his career for the Indians where he first started and the Yankees. Very similar numbers, huh? The ERA, the strikeouts. Wow, almost identical.
Top of the order, Rajai Davis. Optimo. Teixeira makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Indians. 2-0 New York.
are just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. And the tickets are located in the Family Deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded Kids Clubhouse. You can get them only at Indians.com/kids tickets.
Brett Gardner, top of the order for New York here in the third. They lead it 2-0. Gardner flied to left his only time up, and that pitch outside, ball one. Gardner was 0 for his first 4 last night. Didn't have a ball out of the infield, then tripled and scored in the 7th, and had a 2-run single in the 8th. And a base hit to left field. Dyer cuts it off. And Gardner has himself a leadoff base hit. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
Well, Terry Francona was asked this morning, does the team miss Yan Gomes? He looked at the person that asked and said, well, sure, he's our starting catcher. There's a reason why he's our starting catcher. But he says he's talked to both the catchers that he has, and he says, hey, quit worrying about what you're doing at the plate. Be the best catcher you can be for your pitcher. He says, especially when you look at a guy like Roberto Perez, he probably wasn't ready to be up here as he was still coming back from the thumb injury. So he told Roberto, just make sure you're prepared and you put down the right finger when you call a pitch for your pitchers. And that's all we care about right now. Take care of the guy on the mound.
The unfortunate thing now,
Lindor going to step on the bag in turn 2.
all right, just what he ordered, and Kluber did get a piece of that ball. I thought he deflected it enough that it was going to affect Lindor on the double play, but it did not. Watch it go off the end of the glove here, but just a little bit. Took a little bit off, might have made it easier for him. So the easy 6-3 double play.
That's 1-6-3 though. That definitely went off his glove.
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira flied to right in the first.
But the funny thing is, when you're a catcher and the pitchers are going through the situation they're going through, it doesn't matter what you put down if they don't locate it. And they've been throwing a lot of balls down the middle, so they may be getting a little blame for the way the pitchers are going now, but they're not hitting their targets and pitching like they did earlier in the year, that's for sure.
Success breeds confidence, and when you get into a rut and things aren't going well, it breeds doubt.
Yeah, that's a very good word, doubt.
Teixeira down on strikes, and after 3, New York leads it 2-0. lead it. We go to the 4th inning. Jason Kipnis takes ball 1. Missed outside, 2-0. Taking all away, Bob Davidson continues to give the high strike. Kipnis swats one deep right. Hicks looking up. It is gone to Souvenir City. Jason Kipnis gets the Indians on the board with his career best 19th home run of the year, and that is RBI number 60.
Yeah, he fell behind in the count, and Kip got himself a fastball that was elevated. Almost tried to follow that 3-0 pitch. Sabathia gives up his 12th, but that ball, that's a nice swing by Kip. And you can see it travels here in this ballpark. The Indians on the board.
Now Francisco Lindor shoots one down the other way, but foul. Just the first hit of the game for the Indians, but it was a big one. Lindor, then Mike Napoli for the Tribe here in the 4th. Carlos Santana due up after Nap. Loop towards center, dropping, and it's a hit. Francisco with a bloop single to center.
Well,
Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Last 8 games, the Indians have hit 16 homers, make it 17 in their last 9. So the offense continues to click. And Mike Napoli, who's been a big part of that, steps in now. He's hitting 7 straight. He homered in 5 in a row. Napoli popped one up on the infield first time up. He had a 3-0 count. And after the count ended up going full, he popped up. Right field in Yankee Stadium has the short porch, so you would think as an outfielder that's a pretty easy spot to play. Center field, though, it's 385 to the right gap, 399 to the left gap, 408 to straightaway center. Is it a little more challenging for a center fielder because there's so much ground to cover?
well, he's got to cover the space right center to left center field. You need some help from your left fielder. The left fielder in this park has the tough field, the sun field in day games.
You want to play a little deeper in this ballpark, but if you do, then those little flares, those little bloopers are going to fall in front of you.
Yeah, but that one Francisco hit, there's not much you can do about that. I mean, you can play deep in right field, and that wall's your friend. But you can't play too shallow here. You got to protect if you're a center fielder and left fielder.
Well, that's the thing too. If a ball gets in the alleys here, it's
possible
it's a triple. Yeah,
it could be with speed.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a guy that could run better than average, there's no doubt it could be triple.
Santana shoots one between third and short, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 out.
Santana keeping the hands back enough on that changeup to get some top spin on it and drive it through the infield here. It was not a bad pitch. It was down, it was away. Carlos did a good job of staying back on the ball. So 3 hits in the inning now for the Indians.
Yeah, first time through the order they didn't have a hit. Now 3 hits in the span of 4 batters. Second time through the order. We'll see if the Indians can maybe put something together and solve Sabathia now here in this inning, as Jose Ramirez comes to the plate after he struck out his first time up.
This is pretty much how it took place in Cleveland with CeCe. He went through that lineup the first time pretty well.
Slowly chopped to third. There's 1 and 2. Another double play. Indians get on the board. The homer by Jason Kipnis has cut the Yankee lead in half. It's 2-1 middle of the 4th. Indians, they're just 2 back in the Central starting plate today. Justin Verlander, he's the American League Pitcher of the Month for July. Our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball shows you that last night he pitched a strong game against the New York Mets. Really good interleague numbers. I mean, ridiculously good. And look what he's done in his last 7 starts.
Yeah, he has been on a roll.
Brian McCann, Starlin Castro, and Didi Gregorius for New York here in the 4th. That's going to stay fair. Oh, it hit his foot. At least that's what the umpire said. Here's Andre.
You know, you talk about Justin Verlander and what the Detroit Tigers have been able to do. And talking to Terry Francona this morning, he was asked about Detroit, and he says, I'm not surprised. He goes, I never thought we were going to run away with the AL Central. These things are never easy. He's told his team just to be calm and worry about themselves, but he's not surprised. He says there's a lot of baseball left, and he's told his team, enjoy being in a pennant race. Don't make it worse or harder than what it is.
Right.
Enjoy being in this situation. It's going to be a lot of fun, but he never thought they'd run away, is what he continued to say.
1-1 pitch. In there for a strike.
Now, this is game number 108 for the Indians. So you're going to have 54 more to go after this one. And that's a lot of baseball left.
Well, you know, Andre, some guys look at the glass half full like you and me. And there are some other guys we know who look at the glass half empty.
I think you're sitting really close to a guy like that.
1-2 pitch, swung on a miss. He struck him out, and that's 3 Ks for Corey Kluber.
But that's the thing when you talk about this, and Terry tried to say it this morning. He goes, expectations now are bigger for us now that we made the trade that they've made. He goes, but the expectations that have to be the biggest are from ourselves. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying or thinking about who you are, what you are. Just keep being who you've been all along and enjoy it.
Well, the most important thing is, and I really believe that pressure is what you personally make of it. And I think the guys who are immune to that are the guys who don't think about what's at stake or think about what's gaining on them. They're just focused on themselves and the game at hand. But if you start to let that exterior stuff creep into your mind, it's real easy to see how the noose can tighten.
It's tough enough to play the game every day the way it is and stay focused with what's at hand.
By the way, Andre was not talking about you. He was referring to Bob.
Bob's always got a full glass.
Not half full, full. Here's the 0-2 to Starlin Castro, and he whiffed him easily. 4 strikeouts for Corey and 3 in a row now.
Well, he's fooled on this pitch. You can tell by the swing. He started and then says, no, I better not swing at it. But that fastball's by you up in that spot.
Didi Gregorius struck out his first time up. Outside ball 1.
There goes the beer. And didn't get the ball.
I'll have another. A 1-1. Kluber able to throw it by Gregorius, as he's got a chance to strike out the side now. Got him. Corey Kluber strikes out the side here in the 4th. McCann, Castro, Gregorius all down swinging. New York 2, Cleveland 1 as we head to the 5th. Baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. And by the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. 2-1 New York, 5th inning. And the bottom third of the Indians order 2 up against CC Sabathia. Brandon Guyer bounced into a fielder's choice to end the 2nd inning. Down and in, ball 1. Outside of Rajai Davis and Mike Napoli, Guyer has the most at-bats against CC Sabathia, but he got hit by the pitch.
The target.
I was just going to say, Arch, beside the fact that it's a right on left matchup, and that's where Guyer usually thrives, he just 2 for 24 in his career against CC.
Well, watch this. It's like a little cutter in, but he does not budge. He takes it right off his front knee, or a little bit above it.
48th time he's been hit in the last 2 years. With more on that, here's Andre.
Yeah, you know something, he drives that, or thrives that, excuse me, is getting hit by pitches. He says, look, he doesn't wear any equipment. He says, I don't put anything on my elbow, I don't put anything on my knees. He goes, but I'm up on base to help my teammates out. So if it's coming near me, I'm not moving. I'm gonna stand in there. It's what I've always done, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna get on base and get around the bases for my team.
He's going to second base, and they call him out. Ball was in the dirt. Sanchez recovered. He fired it high. Gregorius slapped the tag down. Terry might want to challenge. They're taking a look at it, but the call on the field made by Dan Isanya was out.
Well, and it was a high tag, but did he get him before the foot got into the base? Probably. It was there as he was sliding into it. That was a tough angle, but I'm thinking he might have gotten him before that foot got to the base. But they're still waiting.
No challenge.
No.
Boy, I tell you what, the Indians have had no success trying to move up, trying to steal, nothing.
Well, he's just being aggressive there, ball in the dirt, and Sanchez was able to get to it quickly enough to make a decent enough throw to get him. It was close.
2 base stealers were thrown out in each of the first 2 innings last night by Sanchez. And now Guyer gunned down trying to advance on the ball in the dirt. Abraham Almonte grounded out to short back in the 3rd inning. CC Sabathia told me yesterday that he admitted, I hadn't really thought much about retirement, but I watched Mark Teixeira yesterday stand up there in front of the media and talk about that this would be his last season. He would retire at season's end. He said, man, the reality of it sort of hit me. He's got 1 more year left on his contract, but at the end of that season he'll be 37, and there's not a big market for 37-year-old starting pitchers that have logged as many innings as he has. So this could be very well the end of the line for the big left-hander.
Yeah, you see your teammates going in, in the same boat. You can't help but sort of look at yourself and say, wow, that could be me here real soon.
Yeah. I asked him if he thought much about what he would do at the end of next year, and he said, I really haven't given it any serious thought about it. Am I going to retire? Am I going to look for another deal? But
that's a hard thing to do as an athlete.
Well, he's hit a batter and he's walked one. It'd be great if they had 2 on and nobody out, but unfortunately 1 on 1 out as Roberto Perez comes to the plate. By lefties all time, you got the big unit, lefty Carlton, Mickey Lolich, and then Frank Tanana. It's a pretty good list. Slowly chopped to first. And Perez will be out number 2. Almonte in the scoring position. And we go to the top of the order, Rajai Davis. Rajai 0 for 2 this afternoon. You know, the funny thing is, the guy who's had the most success against CC is on the bench today. Chris Gimenez is 5 for 12 in his career. Rajai with a base hit in the left field, coming around third. Almonte will try to score.
Interference.
Here's the throw, and he is safe, and he would have scored anyway.
Interference, right.
Rajai with an RBI is 37th on the year, and the 2-out base hit ties the game at 2.
Yeah, you watch the interference here as the ball's going through at third base. Torres gets right in the way of Almonte as he's trying to score. You see the umpire with his hand out.
I don't know if there was even any contact there.
He made a move out of his out of the way. And no harm anyway. He ended up scoring on the base hit by Davis. So we have a new ball game now.
For Rajai, that's his 9th hit in 49 career at bats against the big lefty. Swing and a miss by Kipnis. Kip took him deep in the 4th.
I remember earlier in CC's career, he was easy to run on.
That was the home run back in the 4th. Got the Indians on the board. Terry Mulholland really did CC a lot of good when he pitched for the Indians, just to teach him how to hold runners. I mean, he had a phenomenal, paralyzing pickoff move. Strike 3 called, inning over. But the Indians tie it. Rajai Davis with a 2-out RBI single in the left field. Almonte comes home. New ball game, middle of the 5th. Bottom third of the Yankees lineup due up. Mom's from Cleveland. She's at her first baseball game. Gary Sanchez will lead off for New York. He doubled in a run and scored in the second. You talked before about filling in or taking over for a legend. Such is the case with Didi Gregorius taking over at shortstop after Derek Jeter retired. The catching position in general here in New York is a tough one because of the great heritage. They have 6 catchers who have their number retired. That's a pretty good lineage.
Yeah, it sure is.
I mean, you think about having a good career, but if you've got your number,
Yogi.
and number 8's retired twice, once for Yogi Berra, once for Bill Dickey. But then you've got Thurman Munson, you've got
15.
Elston Howard, you've got Jorge Posada.
That happened last year when we were here.
That's right. Jorge got his number retired.
Exactly. Him and Pettit were getting that done here.
So for Gary Sanchez, the standard's very high. Let's put it that way. Up and away, 2-2.
Well, and McCann, the big free agent that they signed, I guess they were willing to trade him, but not many takers because he has
big number.
Yeah, big number following him around.
Sanchez grounds out, 1 away. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And this was Gary Sanchez in the second inning with an RBI double. He would also come around to score on a wild pitch. Indians got on the board on the solo shot by Jason Kipnis in the 4th. And then in the 5th, Rajay ties it up with an RBI single. Aaron Hicks smacks a single into center field. Snaps a string of 7 in a row set down by Kluber. Or 6 in a row. I guess 6 in a row. Ronald Torreyes ground out to short his first time up.
Keeping an eye on Hicks. He hasn't stolen a base yet this year. He's been caught twice.
Foul right back.
Yeah, it's been a lot away with Torreyes. The cutters, the sliders in his first at bat. Went right back to it there.
Runner goes. Pitch is low. Throw down. They got him. Nice throw by Roberto Perez. That was right on the money. And there are 2 down.
Yeah, I had plenty of time there in that situation. Didn't have a great jump, so that's the 3rd time he's been caught. Doesn't have a stolen base yet. Plenty of time. Good tag. Out number 2.
Watch Lindor with the right hand. He makes the call as well. 2 down now and a 1-1 count on Torreyes. Way out out in front of it. Went up the ladder, and he did well to get a piece of that. That's usually a tough pitch to get the bat to for a hitter. You see the grouping down low, and then he raises one up just above the letters. It's usually where pitchers get a lot of strikeouts. Might have been easier to get to it because it was away as opposed to tying you up inside with that ball being up.
That one, and this guy doesn't have a long swing.
Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, it's tough.
He's just
guys that take
pepper.
yeah, he's playing more or less pepper and trying to put the ball in play than a guy trying to swing a little bit harder.
Swung on and missed. Kluber took a little something off, strikes him out. He's fanned a half dozen. And through 5, we're all even at 2. Predictable meets cool and collected when undefeated rising star Yair Rodriguez takes on Alex Caceres. UFC Fight Night begins tonight at 7 Eastern on FS1. Watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Francisco Lindor is 1 out of 2. And that's pretty much what he's done against CC so far in his young career. He already has 5 hits and 8 at-bats against the big lefty. 1-0 pitch. Hit it twice. Only counts as 1 strike. 1-1. Line is short, 1 away. Missed outside. Ball 1 to Mike Napoli, who popped up in the second and struck out in the fourth. and in. That was low. 3-0 for the second time today. Oh my, second time today Bob Davidson has called ball 4 a strike against Mike Napoli.
Well, and that's what Nap's doing. He's stepping out and regrouping because it's the second time he felt he had a ball and could have been ball 4 on the 3-0 count, but has to stay in there to hit.
He drives this one to deep right center field, and she is gone. The Indians take the lead on the 28th home run of the year for Mike Napoli. And he should shake Bob Davidson's hand when he crosses home plate for giving him another shot.
Just thank him. That's all you have to do. And that was a line drive out to right field. So the second solo shot for the Indians. And they take the lead. Nice line drive stroke to right. That ball down a little bit. Beautiful swing.
Santana takes up and away ball 1. Well, it's the third consecutive start now that CC Sabathia has allowed 2 home runs in a ball game, and the 4th time it's happened to him this year. Now granted, most starting pitchers, they'll tell you I can live with giving up solo homers. It's the 2 and the 3 runners you want to try to avoid. They're telling us that kid's got 2 home run balls today.
He's got the right seats, huh? Sitting out there.
Did he get Kip's homer too?
I think so. It's the only other one out there. It's tough enough to get
Kip's
one
went a little farther.
It may have, but either he can talk you into a ball, or he's at the right place at the right time, and it came back to him.
Santana just feeling for it, fouls it back. Let's go down to a man who knows a thing or two about getting a home run ball.
I'm going to go chase that one down. For Mike Napoli, that is his 3rd career home run versus CC Sabathia. We always talk about pitcher matchups versus certain hitters. Well, Mike Napoli has seen pitches from CC Sabathia more than any other pitcher. He came in today with 43 at-bats against him. Now he has 46. That's the most he has against any pitcher in baseball. Paid off for the Indians today.
Yeah, now Santana plugs one straight up the gut. Yankees have double barrel action going in the bullpen as CC going through the Indians lineup for the 3rd time today. And Joe Girardi's going to the phone. He's going to check on the bullpen, see who's ready. I don't know if he's ready to make a move at this point. But where's CC at? 87 pitches on the day.
Yeah, and you know, if you get 6 out of CC, that's a good outing for him. He went 5 2/3 in his first start, and he's at 5 1/3 right now.
Well, he's handled Jose Ramirez so far today, has struck him out, induced him to hit into a double play. (3-2) Cleveland here in the 6th. They've scored a run in each of the last 3 innings now. Down in the dirt. Lays off, just missed outside with it. And the count is 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, this would be the last batter for CC, I'm sure.
Bullseye. Ramirez able to get a piece of that.
Yeah, may have helped him out there on a 3-1 count.
That looked like his 2-strike swing. You're just protecting.
Right. That was not the pitch you wanted to go after when the count's in your favor.
With 1 out. 3-2 pitch slowly chopped toward third. Gloved. And Torres makes a fine play to get him. 2 down. Santana in the scoring position. Now decision time for Joe Girardi. And it looks like he's going to stay with Sabathia. Why not? He's got great numbers in his career against Brandon Guyer.
Yeah, they know that.
Guyer just 2 for 24 against Sabathia, but he was hit by a pitch his last time up. A little bit inside, ball 1.
And I'm sure Guyer sees a lot of pitches on the inside part of the plate from CC. That's why he didn't move the last time he got hit. It was just above the knee, the front knee. He just took it.
One ball, 1 strike. Now Guyer in the hole, 1 and 2. Missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Abraham Almonte waiting on deck. Pair of solo homers and a 2-out RBI single by Rajai Davis for the Indians today. The solo shots coming from Jason Kipnis and Mike Napoli. And the Indians now have a lead of 3-2. The 2-2 pitch. And now a full count.
That was a changeup away. See if CC may come back with the pitch he started him off with, something cutting inside to him.
Jammed him and popped it back out of play. This will be pitch number 100 now for Sabathia.
And I'm thinking any way it goes, this will be the last batter that CC faces. If he gets him out, I'm sure he's out of the game. If he doesn't, he will be out of the game.
And the payoff upstairs, ball 4. That's the 4th walk issued by Sabathia, and his day will come to an end after 5 2/3 innings of work. He gives up 3 runs on 6 hits, the 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. And Sabathia will exit on the hook for a loss. But still a long way to go in this one. The Indians have 2 on and 2 out. We'll be right back as the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for one-time Indian Anthony Swarzak.
Dollar Dog Night, August 12th, the first night of the Rockin' Blast. And that'll be Friday night when we get home. Another block party out in the right field district. That'll be pregame. Budweisers are $2 from 5 to 7. Go to Indians.com for your tickets. Swarzak coming on now with runners on first and second and 2 outs. And he has inherited 13 runners this year. 5 have come around to score. He's going to try and keep it a 3-2 game here. Almonte would kind of try and get a base hit, increase the lead.
Abraham Almonte walked and scored in the 5th. Now right back out of play. The 0-2 offering a little high. Swarzak with 2 on and 2 out. The 1-2 offering. And he strikes him out. Indians take the lead. Mike Napoli's 28th home run of the year. It's 3-2 Cleveland, middle of the 6th.
Including savings and access to Tribe Rewards, and today's Tribe Reward TV code is McAllister. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Corey Kluber pitching with a 1-run lead now, top of the order here in the 6th. Down low. A little bit outside. And Brett Gardner draws a leadoff walk.
First walk of the day for Kluber. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start this inning off.
That'll bring up Jacoby Ellsbury. He's 0 for 2. He has lined out and he grounded into a double play in the 3rd.
The Indians as a team against the Yankees this year, their ERA is at 5.87. Last time up, Kluber was able to get the 1-6-3 double play. Deflected off his glove right to Lindor.
Go to first. Gardner back.
Gardner has stolen 13 out of his 15.
Right field, charging. Almonte makes the catch. It's going to be an easy double play. Ellsbury was off and running and never looked back. 2 down.
Well, once you get going, he just thought that ball was going to fall, and he wanted to get himself to third base, and Almonte makes an easy play. He misread that ball poorly, badly.
I think you're right. He thought it was just going to drop.
Yeah, Gardner, he was going to go all the way to third. Once he committed, he was going his way. So it's a catch. It's a double play ball, and a bad judgment on his part. But it certainly helps the Indians. They're happy.
Well, 2 down, and the speed is off the bags. Mark Teixeira 0 for 2. Upstairs, ball 1.
One there, it looked like Kluber wanted, man. I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen him. It looked like he let a little deep breath out. He never shows emotions, but it looked like he felt he had a pitch right there.
3-1 offering. Teixeira pops it up center field. Rajay is there, and the inning is over. Leadoff walk, but a bad base running decision, and the inning is over. brought to you by the Injury Lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Firelands Regional Medical Center. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the Indians have themselves a 3-2 lead. The bleacher creatures. A long way from the action out there. Roberto Perez going to lead it off here in the 7th for Cleveland. Got to stay hydrated when it's humid like this. Anthony Swarzak delivers, and it's a first pitch strike. Boy, little tapper right in front of the plate. 1 away. Top of the order, Rajai Davis. Rajai drove in a run with a base hit in the 5th inning. Came with 2 outs. And that tied the game. Checked, and it was a little high. There's a drive deep left field. Gardner racing back. Goodbye. Rajai Davis with his 10th home run of the year. 4-2 Cleveland.
3rd solo home run today. Rajai, he's now in double figures. He has 10. And he knew it as soon as it left the bat. So there's another insurance run on the board. Picking on a slider from Swarzak. And boy, he left it middle of the plate. Just look at Swarzak. He says, "Are you kidding me?" He can't believe it. He located it, and it's not coming back.
Timeout for a pitching change. Cleveland, on the strength of 3 solo homers, leads it 4-2. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. If you're sitting in the right field bleachers today, it's a good spot to be. Watch the scramble. That young man comes up with the ball. Later in the game, Mike Tapley goes deep, and this time his dad gets it. So he's the beneficiary by bloodlines.
Look at that, the kids. Yeah, all right. What an afternoon for those two.
And Rajay Davis hit one to the other side of the park. So
if he has
spread
that
the wealth
one,
a little bit.
we're going to start an investigation if he ends up with that one.
No, I'm going to sign him because if he's that fast, I want him on my team. Kipnis a swing and a miss. Jason 1 for 2 on the day. Walked back in the first inning. He's taking it. I got it made in the shade now, babe.
Well, resting on his laurels.
He's just saying, hey, when anybody else gets 2, come see me. Then we'll have something to talk about. Missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jason Shreve just called up from AAA. Left-hander in his 3rd stint with the Yankees. Out of play. Chased 1 in the dirt. Kipnis down on strikes. 2 away. Take a look at what Jason Shreve has done so far this year. Up and away. Right back into the mask.
The 2nd time today that Frankie's hit a ball, turned around, and it's hit his bat twice. This time it went off the catcher's helmet or someplace. Watch, and he hits it again. Off the mask, and on the follow through, it comes back and hit it again. And that happened in his last at bat where he took a big swing and it came back and it hit his bat twice. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That mask bat that time. Weekly tap. And they got him at first on the bang bang play to end the inning. Rajay Davis extends the Indians' lead with 1 swing of the bat. 4-2 Tribe. Stretch time in New York. struck out 6 Yankee batters this afternoon. He whiffed the side back in the 4th inning. And he's given up just 2 runs on 5 hits through 6 solid innings of work here this afternoon. And if not for one really bad pitch in terms of accuracy, it was ruled a wild pitch, could have very easily been a pass ball. We really would be looking at a game in which he'd only allowed 1 run.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it should be.
Here's our matchup tomorrow. We'll have it for you at 1 o'clock right here on Sports Time Ohio. Brian McCann, Starlin Castro, and Didi Gregorius for the Yankees here in the 7th.
Well, Kluber's doing exactly what Tito needed. He needs a starter to go out and give him some length. And he's out there in the 7th inning. It's only 76 pitches. And he has had 3 consecutive shutdown innings, and the Indians have been on the board 4 straight innings. So see if he can do it one more time.
Outside, ball 1. You know, a lot of things depend on how these next couple of innings play out, but this could potentially be a game where you see Andrew Miller pitching in a save situation in the 9th, because the Yankees, with all those left-handed hitters at the top of the order, this would be a case where Tito looks at the way it lines up. He's going to want Andrew to face those guys, and if Kluber sets him down in order here, they go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th, they'd be due up in the 9th.
Yeah, that's true. See how they get through these next couple of innings.
Yeah, that could change the thinking. McCann pops it shallow. Long run. Almonte slides and makes the catch. 1 down.
Well, he was the only one that was going to get there. Kipnis was playing out on the grass, but he wasn't going to be able to get there. Almonte had a long way to go starting from deep right field, but he's closing the gap quickly and makes a nice sliding catch for out number 1. Had a long way to go.
Let's go to Andre Knott.
Well, it's funny you bring up, Matt, the situation with Andrew Miller. He said it's going to be odd to go against some of his guys that were his teammates just a few games ago. But also, you know, Terry's talked about Cody Allen has earned to be the closer. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But I think he wants to get both of them in this game if he can.
Well, I know, and Tito understandably has said, look, I'm not just going to say A is the closer, B is the setup guy. I'm going to mix and match, you know, and that to me is just plain smart. When you've got a left-hander like Miller, if you've got a team in the 9th inning and they've got a bunch of left-handers coming up, you might close him on those days, but you still may use Cody Allen as your closer as well.
There was an article that was put out today, and I'm losing track of where it's at because of where I'm at, and I can't read it to you. But they're saying Terry Francona may be changing the way people and managers use their bullpen, because if you have arms like this, why would you not match up with them?
Down on strikes is Starlin Castro. And Andre, you have to have the right people, not just the stuff, but the mentality. You know, Andrew Miller was a closer. He stepped aside when they got Chapman in New York. Cody Allen is a closer. He basically went to the Indians front office and said, if I need to step aside, I'm okay with it. So you have to have the right mindset to do that.
All right. Well, and I think the other thing that helps Cody Allen is, you guys know, when he came up, he was a guy that was able to pitch in leverage situations from the 6th inning on, and he wants to win. So I think both of their attitudes is what plays into this. Yeah. And like you said, you got to have the stuff too. You can't just throw anybody out there.
Right now, Kluber looks like he wants to be his own closer.
Well, nothing wrong with that either, Arch, because the way the bullpen's been used, I'm sure they wouldn't mind it at all. Corey went out and said, don't worry, boys,
I'm sure that's on his mind. I'm telling you, I'm sure that's exactly on his mind. He had that 2nd inning at 26 pitches, but look at that, a 6-pitch first, a 7-pitch third, and right now in the 7th, he's at 9. That nullifies, you know, a big inning right there.
Boy, Corey cruises through the 7th inning. The Yankees go in order. 4-2. Try. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. 4-2 Cleveland, top of the 8th inning. Mike Napoli will lead off. His last time up, it's a 3-0 count. It looks like ball 4, but Bob Davidson calls it a strike. Napoli's not happy. Tells Bob about it. Next pitch, he hits one out of the ballpark. Thanks, Bob.
Well, yeah. All things considered, you're exactly right. Thank you.
We've seen that happen a bunch, though. I'm not saying
that happened to the Indians back in Cleveland. I'm trying to think of a situation.
We've seen it where should have been ball 4, was called a strike. Guy gets another pitch, and whammo. Knapp has now picked up a hit in 8 consecutive games. And that's impressive because he's not a guy you think about in terms of hit streaks.
No, because he walks and he swings and misses a lot.
He's had a couple of games, at least 2 if not more, where he struck out 4 times this year. Well, right now he is pretty locked in. I didn't realize, Arch, all of a sudden, you know, Napoli swats one out of here and he's sitting there with 28 home runs. That's the most since Grady Sizemore hit 33 back in 08.
Well, Knapp, no reason why he's not going to get above that and beyond that and into the 30s.
Well, he only needs 5 to get to where Sizemore was. I think that's well within his reach, the way he's been swinging it.
Yeah, we're at August 6th.
But home run hitters, you know, as we know, they tend to come in bunches.
Yes, they do.
The nice thing for Knapp is he's not a man on an island this year. You've got Kipnis with 19. Santana's got 24. Got some guys around him that have provided some punch. I mean, even Lindor, not a big guy, not a home run power guy, but he's sitting there with 13.
Well, you've got Naquin with the same amount, 13. Yep. They have 144 as a team, which is more than they had last year at this point. I mean, all year. They had 141, the number that they had going into today's game.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to be sitting there and having that conversation. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Napoli down on strikes. I just find Rajay to be one of the more entertaining figures. Not only on this ball club, but you know, guys that we've met over the years. But he's got that engaging personality. Loves to tell you a story.
And then loves the game.
Yes.
And is very prepared.
What's that old theory about style and substance? I mean, he's got the substance. He has a lot of style and he has a lot of fun, but there's more substance to him. Whereas some guys are all kind of flash and dazzle, but they don't do much for you when it comes to game time.
Yeah, he's held his share this year. He's been a blessing for this team. You know, he's in double digits with home runs. You don't expect him to hit home runs. His game is the legs, the speed, which he does that, and he does it very well. And you know, this team, it seems like, has become a better base running team because of him.
Drove one in the 4th inning. All right, I'm sorry, that was in the 5th inning. And then he got the home run. That's bang.
Yeah, he's going for his offensive numbers today, not the base stealing numbers, although he does lead the league with 27.
One pitch. And you know, he has said that I think he really appreciates the way Tito has managed him this year by keeping him fresh. But he's also dropped some subtle hints. Don't forget about me now. Don't lose me on the bench.
No, because he feels good. He's playing well.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be out there every day when you're playing well, you're swinging it well, you feel good. There's days where you don't, you just don't have it or you don't feel it.
There's a sky-high pop. Out goes Castro. And there are 2 down. And we've talked before about this as we bring in Andre Knott. It takes 25 and then some. But Terry's pretty good at working guys in and out of that lineup.
He is, and Rajai wants to play more, but he's never going to make a problem about it. Now, Tito said, hey, we're in August. I want him to play as many games as he can as well, but I have to take care of him to get through the last 2 months of the season. But you've noticed over the last few games when he's in there, he's making things happen. And I think he sees that they're an outfielder short with things the way that they are. He wants to play every day, but you'll never hear him complain about it out loud.
No, and I think that is the manager's job, to protect the player from himself sometimes. Because players are programmed to want to play.
Yeah, players want to play is right.
But you'll do that to your own detriment sometimes, won't you?
Sure, because you still want to be out there. The manager has to draw the line. He knows. I mean, they've got their fingers on the pulse. He's got it right there. He knows what he needs to do. And, you know, he's done Tito's done a great job all year of just managing his lineup.
You're not going to keep Jose Ramirez from getting a hit. He was 0 for 3 before that one. But he pulls it into the hole, and now he's got an 11-game hitting streak. And that's going to be it for Shreve, as Joe Girardi will go back to his bullpen. Nick Goody will be coming on when we come back. It's Cleveland 4, New York 2 in the 8th. Show you terrific tips to lower your handicap. Who wrote that? Terrific tips. You can't say that. He'll talk about golf and the Olympics and a whole lot more. Inside the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon, American Eagle Mortgage, and Varmint Guard. Bring it to you Sundays at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio. Terrific tips. Here's Brandon Guyer. Nope, we're going to get a pinch hitter. Lonnie Chisenhall will come on and hit. with Nick Goody, the right-hander, on the hill. Runner at first, 2 down. Indians leading at 4-2 here in the top half of the 8th inning. In the dirt. Goody, 25 appearances.
Yeah, you see a lot of these numbers coming out of the Yankee bullpen as far as, few number of appearances, 18.
Yeah.
A lot of the younger guys
Getting opportunities now after the trades.
Right, compared to, like, you see an Allen for the Indians, 45, 46 for, well, Miller's here, and Otero's 41.
Goody had some issues last night with the walks. He walked 2 with a 6-run lead, but he was able to get out of the final inning without allowing a run. And here he is, 3-0 to Lonnie.
Well, the Indians again did it last night, a lot of times with 2 outs. Today they've been able to strike before 2 outs.
There's a strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's ball 4. So Goody comes on, first batter he faces, just like last night, he walks him.
Yeah, that doesn't endear yourself to the manager in the situation. He wants to see you coming off throwing strikes, especially when you're down.
Harry Rothschild's removed his hat and might eat it pretty soon. Abraham Almonte to the plate. Almonte walked and scored in the 5th. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
They did get a 2-out run in the 5th inning. Rajai Davis had the RBI single.
Here comes Larry. Boy, these guys can stall with the best of them.
Well, that's,
except there's nobody up in the bullpen. This is just a, I don't know what it is.
Last night we had that happen a lot with Sanchez going out to the mound a lot with their young pitchers, and the trips to the mound in a lopsided game. This one now is it's a manageable game. It's a 2-run difference, so a mistake here or there could mean the difference in coming back or not. So you want to make sure these guys know what's going on and how to do it. But I'm looking at Bob Davidson. Anytime there's a break, he's heading for shade.
Yeah, he's lost a few pounds behind the dish this afternoon. It's one of those days. It's very humid. And a strike call. Abe pops it up. Shallow right. In comes Hicks. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Middle of the 8th. Cleveland 4, New York 2. He has turned in a good performance here today. Better than good.
He certainly has. You look at his numbers in the last 2 starts where everybody else around him has been crumbling. You know, he's gone 15 innings and trying to make it 16 here, where the other 5 starters just 17 and a third.
Up high, ball 1 to catcher Gary Sanchez, who doubled in a run and scored. The last run for the Yankees back in the 2nd inning. You see Andrew Miller getting loose in the bullpen. Yeah, strike called.
Yes, he did. Couldn't stop on that slider.
Now the 1-2. Just a bit outside, and that will even things up. Got him looking. I mean, just dotted one right on the outside corner at the knees. 8th strikeout for Kluber.
Got him with some quick drying paint on the outside edge. Perfect pitch. Little comeback. Boy, that is unbelievable right there.
No
Can't hit
runs,
it.
no drips, no errors.
That's right.
Aaron Hicks has singled twice today. That has enabled him to sneak that batting average up there near the Mendoza line.
It is amazing how many hitters are under that line this year and have been.
I don't know if I'm just seeing things here or not, but it appears that Kluber's getting better late in the ballgame. The command seems to be even more pinpoint. Right back to him, off his glove, but Lindor has his back. 2 down.
Again, the 2nd time today he's done that. That time it was a double play. Kluber's just making it a little easier for Frankie as he tips it. He didn't have to step on second this time, just throw across the diamond and get the out at first.
Corey never knew he was a point guard.
Yeah, that's right. We'll give you some assists here, pal.
Second time.
He's keeping track. He knows they don't miss a beat.
Pinch hitter Chase Headley steps in for Ronald Torreyes, who was 0 for 2 today. Nice little breaking ball over the outside corner. Maybe that was just a backdoor cutter. Whatever the case, perfect location. That's been the theme here later in the game for Kluber. And a line drive caught by Ramirez. The Yankees go 1-2-3, and Kluber has set down 8 straight. Looks like he's going to try and finish this game today, and why not? The way he's gone out and dominated. Still a close game, though. It's a 4-2 ball game. As we start the ninth, Chase Headley will pinch hit for Torres in at third. Nick Goody got the final out of the eighth. Will stay on a pitch here in the ninth. Roberto Perez. Good looking pitch, called a ball, 1-1. Roberto Perez will take it. He needs all the help he can get the way things have gone for him at the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. He has struck out and hit a couple of weak tappers that have barely gone by the pitcher's mound. Once again, a tapper to the mound, and that was it. 1 down. Keys to the game recapped by Mazda. Kluber, strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3. That's been his story today. He's been very good, and he's kept the Indians on the field for the minimum amount of time as possible.
Yeah, that's exactly, I mean exactly what the Indians needed today.
Arch, 4 times he's retired a 1-2-3, and 3 other times there have been 2 double plays and the guy caught stealing. So he's faced the minimum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight innings and 7 out of 8.
Yeah, well, they had the 1 run in the second. The second run was a gift run. It was scored a wild pitch, but the ball could have been caught, I thought. And then it's just been shut down because when the Indians scored, he kept putting zeros on the board, and that's exactly what he had to do.
Top of the order, Rajai Davis. He's had a very productive day. He drove in the game-tying run with a base hit and 2 outs in the 5th inning. And then he homered to give the Indians a little insurance in the 7th. Took it from a 2-run game to a, or I should say took it from a 1-run lead to a 2-run lead on the homer by Davis. That's a pop that will make it into the seats. Still the only game on the docket to this point. There will be some action coming your way 4 o'clock Eastern time around baseball, but this is the only 1 o'clock start in the bigs. CC Sabathia started. He went 5 2/3, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 solo homers. Corey Kluber has just flat out been better. He's gone 8 innings. He's given up 2 runs on 4 hits, has struck out 8. And by rights, should only be 1 run allowed, but he's still working with a 2-run lead with Andrew Miller up in the bullpen if needed. Now the 3-2 to Rajai. High ball 4. And now we'll see if Davis puts on the track shoes.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, this has been his game. And you could use 1 more run. I'm sure they have concerns. They'll pay attention to him over there.
Jason Kipnis, the batter. Homered in the 4th. He has struck out twice. He has also walked today. Rajai started, then raced back to first base.
He didn't feel he had a good enough jump, so he put the brakes on. It was a nice pitch to throw on, and if you remember back against Minnesota, he ended up walking. He stole 2nd, came back and stole 3rd, and then there was a little wild pitch that gets by Suzuki, and he comes all the way in to manufacture that run on his own.
Draws another throw. Arch, when you were a base stealer, did you have it when you got your lead to where you were ready to go? Did you have it in your mind? Did you know how many strides before you would dive or slide? Did you have it
into second base?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you could count them, but no, not necessarily. I mean, if you get to your spot that you want to get to on your lead, it's going to be a natural thing. You don't count them.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, I've heard in the past some guys would say, 10 or 11 strides and then boom, I'm down. But I don't know how you keep track of that if you're running.
Well, they must watch the video and do it because you're on your own.
Oh, it gets away, and Rajai can stroll into second base.
Now that's a pass ball.
There have been a couple of those today for Gary Sanchez in which he just hasn't caught the ball cleanly. The previous occasions occurred when there was nobody on base.
He may have taken his eye off the ball with Davis on first base, trying to look at him, and it just went off his glove. So now he doesn't have to worry about stealing a bag. He's in scoring position.
In the meantime, with all the attention paid to Rajai, Kip sitting there with a 2-0 count. And he smashes one into right center field. That's a base hit. Davis will score, and it's 5-2 Cleveland.
There's your insurance right there. One little mistake they made. Pass ball. Now the count's 2-0. Kip gets a meatball and just drives it into right center field. Watch this 2-0 pitch, man, right there. So now a 5-2 game. Kipnis gets his second RBI of the day, and Goody is going to be done for the afternoon, and back to the bullpen we go.
Looks like the big boy Dellin Betances is coming on when we come back. And their closer, Dellin Betances, 52nd appearance on the year.
Yeah, we told you last night he hadn't pitched since Monday. He was up twice, even though they had a rout going on. But he was up twice in the 8th and the 9th inning. So the big right-hander's coming on to try and keep it a 5-2 game with Lindor and Napoli. Although there is one out in the inning.
Fouled right back. Fouled away. Francisco Lindor, of course, told you last night he homered off Betances last year. He was the first left-handed hitter to do that. Which is weird. You think, well, he's a right-handed pitcher. He must be harder to hit for right-handed batters, but he's just as tough, if not more so, for the left-handed batters.
Yeah, he's got that nasty slider, and he throws in the mid-90s. He's not an easy at bat for anybody.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. Rich Hill's been scratched from his start. His first with the Dodgers.
Blister?
With a blister issue.
Oh man, hold on, don't say it. I said stop you. I've heard it before.
He was supposed to come off the
Cleveland.
DL.
Yeah.
And make that start, but not going to happen. Lindor checked. It was in the dirt. 2-2. Dodgers already put Bud Norris on the DL. They've been making a pretty good run at San Francisco, still 2 games back in the West. And the 2-2 with a runner going is bounced and way in front of the plate. No chance for Sanchez that time. And Kipnis has his 9th stolen base on the year. Watch where this ball lands after you take a look at the jump Kipnis had. Don't think it would have mattered, but I mean, there's no chance for Sanchez.
Tough to get in front of that slider as hard as he throws it.
Lindor off the end of the bat. That's going to drop. Kipnis did not get a good read on it, so he'll stop at third. But the Indians have runners at first and third with only 1 out, and Mike Napoli coming to the plate.
Well, from our view, it was a little easier read for us than down on the field. We realized that that ball was going to drop off the end, and Ellsbury playing deep, he was going to try and decoy him, but there's nothing you can do if you're Kip. You just move up to 1 base. Tougher to read down there.
Well, we saw what happened to Brett Gardner earlier in the game. He thought he had a good read on the ball.
Right.
And he was on third base when they threw back to first and doubled him off on what looked, in retrospect, like a pretty routine fly ball to right field, but he thought it was going to drop. And the chance now for Knapp to get to the 80 RBI mark, possibly beyond, depending on what he does here. Swing and a miss. This put the Indians in front off CC in the 6th inning. Napoli's 28th home run on the year. There are only currently 3 members of the 80 or more RBI club in the American League. Knapp trying to join. Encarnacion leads the way from Toronto with 91. Ortiz of Boston with 87. And Pujols of the Angels with 84. Knapp sitting on 79. He let that fastball go, and look, it hit 99 miles an hour. Ooh. And then he comes back with an 84-mile-an-hour pitch that just, what do you do if you're a hitter?
You take it and take a walk
You're
back.
sitting there expecting 99, and this dead fish comes fluttering up there. Watch this.
Well, and it's got great bite to it. It sort of buckles you. There's nothing you can do. Just that's where, when he throws a slider like that, that's where right-handers, it's unhittable.
Well, Carlos Santana will have a chance to add to the lead for Cleveland. I wonder if, because this inning has taken so long, if that alters Terry Francona's thinking with regards to Kluber in the 9th.
Yeah, they add on that extra run, and I would think, my thought process was Kluber would have been done. You had Miller up, and you got the top of the lineup, and you have left-handers. That was my thought process all along, and I still see Miller's up and kneeling, so I would expect him to come in.
Lindor takes off, and Santana booms it foul.
Well, you'll never know with that guy, the way he looks, because he's the same every day.
He could be up 10, down 10, in the game, out of the game.
You'd never know. Although he is talking to somebody now, so maybe he is out of it.
Way outside, 2-1.
still drinking. He's still up. That tells me he's in.
Mm-hmm. Two-one pitch. Lindor takes off. Santana takes a strike. No throw. And Frankie has his 14th steal of the year. Second stolen base of the inning. That'll end the inning. Santana goes down looking. Indians had a run. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Andrew Miller's coming on. 5-2 Cleveland. Corey Kluber, 8 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And he finished with a flurry, retiring the last 8 straight. And he faced the minimum in the last 6 innings.
Boy, if there's anything that the Indians needed, it was that right there. That prescription. A Kluber start of 8 innings. In 5 runs or 5 hits and 2 runs. That's beautiful. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Turn it over. They get him 5 runs and you give it to your bullpen. Beautiful.
And now Andrew Miller comes on to face his old club. He was the closer here 2 seasons ago. A dominant setup man through the trading deadline this year. And now trying to close this one out for the Indians. Back-to-back left-handers at the top of the order for New York, and Brett Gardner takes a strike. Two quick strikes. Andrew said, look, I'm not looking forward to this. It's not going to be a lot of fun to face my former teammates. And he meant that from a standpoint, it's just awkward. It's not fun. Yeah,
it's a weird situation. You just leave a team and you're facing the guys you were watching a week later.
What a piece of hitting by Brett Gardner on an 0-2 pitch. He slaps one right back up the middle.
Well, a good job by a left-hander hanging in there and hitting the slider from Miller. 0-2, you get him. See, that one stayed on the plate. He started that one out from behind him, and it stayed on the plate. It didn't get away, but he hung in there pretty well and got a base hit.
Now you got Jacoby Ellsbury and then Mark Teixeira. Missed inside, 1-1. Ellsbury, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's 0 for 3 today after a 4 for 6 last night. Gets ahead of him, 1-2. You got the switch hitter Teixeira, then the left-handed hitting McCann to follow. And Cody Allen is just getting a ball, getting loose in case. Did he go? He did. Bob Davidson rung him up. Bob Davidson says, I don't need to ask, Jacoby. My call, you're out. One away.
He's called about 2 or 3 of those today prior to this anyway. And even if they were looking for help, it looked like he did. I'm sure we'll get a side look after this. But it looked like he went. Here's the vantage point you can get, and you'll get an idea.
That was really close. That's
right
on that borderline.
Yeah, it was. But he goes down a strikeout victim.
Mark Teixeira taking. That's a strike. That's going to be out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out in the 9th, and the Indians up 5-2. Teixeira had 2 hits, including a double last night, but the Indians have held him 0 for 3 this afternoon. Very close. Watch this fastball. This got some zip to it. It's unhittable, which is why Teixeira wouldn't even think to offer at it.
I like the location, though. Down, maybe just a little bit inside.
And that had some serious bite. And it's 2-2. So he showed him the low screamer and a breaking ball that moves all over the place. He went. Lance Barrett rings him up. Back-to-back check swings. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, that time he got help. He asked for help down at first base, and that one was tough to tell as well. But they felt he went. We're going to get a front look there. He started now. Do we have a side look on that?
I think Teixeira knew he went.
Yeah. He didn't say much.
Brian McCann 0 for 3. Gardner takes off, but that's just indifference. They weren't holding him. Kind of a strange deal. We've got about, I'd say maybe a dozen or so birds that have decided to have a picnic in right center field.
There's seeds out there that those guys might have been throwing around.
I don't know, but they're all perched right in that one little spot.
Good eat.
1-1 pitch. Backed up on the plate, a strike, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch, low and in. 5-2 Cleveland here in the 9th. McCann has flied out twice and struck out. Off the end of the bat, a one-hopper to Lindor. From the outfield grass, he throws, and the Indians have evened the series at a game apiece as they beat the Yankees this afternoon by a final score of 5-2. Corey Kluber gets the win, his 11th, and Andrew Miller his first save as an Indian, and making his 10th save on the year. With the win, the Indians are now 62-46.